this morning's Business Insight, Vision 2015 has a new name and a new focus. Vision 2015 is the organization charged with developing and managing Northern Kentucky's strategic plan. Its new name is Skyward, which showcases the elevated vision and higher goals of the organization. Skyward has a new strategic plan with 4 focus areas: children, jobs, health, and vibrancy. The priorities are based on more than 15,000 ideas contributed through an extensive community engagement effort. Joining us to talk about the plan is Bill Shire, president of Skyward. He's with Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer in the studio. Bill and Rob.
Thanks very much. And Bill, thanks so much for being here this morning. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Talk a little bit about why you guys decided it was time for a new strategic plan. I mean, you guys have done several of these over the years.
Yeah, Northern Kentucky has been doing these community-wide visions really since 1981, so over 30 years. The most recent one was done in 2005, and it was called Vision 2015. So here we are in 2015. So it really was time to do the update.
Is there something different about the area now? You've been around for a while. Something that you really feel is different about Northern Kentucky now than maybe it was when Vision 2015, for those of us who have been around, kind of started?
Sure. Well, one thing that's a difference is College of Informatics at NKU, which has been very significant for Northern Kentucky. Another thing is we've really got a great partnership, our organization, with Agenda 360 in Cincinnati, Southwest Ohio. And I think the relationships between Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky are probably stronger than ever. In terms of this particular plan, one of the differences is that it is very focused. Typically, these plans are pretty broad and cover a number of areas. We decided to really zero in on 4 particular goals, top priority goals.
Let's talk about those 4 goals specifically. Sure. Why don't you run through them, and maybe also just tell everybody why they're in the plan to begin with.
See 1,000 more children in Northern Kentucky arrive at kindergarten ready to learn and succeed. That's in line with the United Way's bold goals, which we're a partner with, but it is the foundation. Really, one of the things is that this plan grew out of a tremendous public engagement process where we had thousands of comments and responses from people all across the region. And early childhood development, kindergarten readiness was really a high priority.
Right.
An interesting question that people have asked is, how can you really just focus on one aspect of education when education from start to finish is so important? The answer to that is one of the great outcomes of the plan that just finished, Vision 2015, was the creation of the Northern Kentucky Education Council.
Okay.
So they now cover the whole cradle to career education spectrum in Northern Kentucky.
So that allows you to focus.
Allows us to really focus.
Sure. And so talk about the other 3.
Sure.
Run through those for us. Jobs, I assume.
Well, jobs
is
one
of them.
Right. Jobs. The jobs goal really is to try to help get all the jobs filled in the high demand sectors in the region, particularly for us in Northern Kentucky. And those are advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and IT, but all jobs really. But those 3 sectors are really high demand, and they're struggling to have enough people to fill the jobs.
It's a good problem to have, sort of.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It still is a problem.
But it still is a problem because we need to get the right people into those jobs. So that's one part of the jobs goal. The other is to build on the momentum that we have with innovation and entrepreneurship in the entire greater Cincinnati region, but in our case, particularly in Northern Kentucky. Again, one of the parts of the story is that one of the significant outcomes of the Vision 2015 plan was the creation of the UpTech Business Accelerator.
Right.
And that has now spawned other innovation entrepreneurial activities in Northern Kentucky that tie with Cincinnati.
Sure.
So those are the 2 parts of the jobs goal.
Gotcha.
Another goal is in health, and that is a change from the last goal. In the last goal, health was not as high a priority within the vision. This time, health is just such a huge issue for everybody.
Sure.
And so the goal is to, over the next 5 years, get 20,000 more people in Northern Kentucky to rate their health as being very good or excellent on Interact's statewide health assessment that's done every year.
And then what's that last area before we go?
Last area is community vibrancy. What we heard loud and clear from people across the region was that they really wanted to have a sense of connectedness business and really be part of Northern Kentucky as a unified region. But one of the special things in that goal is the decision to use public art as a differentiator for the region, to really try to use art as a connecting point for people all across the region, all the communities.
Well, it sounds like you guys did a ton of work to get this together, and we at the Courier will certainly be keeping our eyes on it. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.